Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Game Changes. So today we're going to be talking about yet another rule that can change the game to either better it or completely destroy it. And so one of those rules is, do we need commander damage? Do we need infect damage? That kind of like alternate win con, and yet it's still through combat. One of the things that Infect does really well is make people very salty. I think it is very good that we have Infect damage, but does that mean that you have to win with Infect? Well, I think a cool change would be to propose that Infect damage does twice the amount that it would do to get like the minimal life going on. For let's say if you have a two-player game, it's 20 because you have 20 life starting, right? But let's say you have a commander game, if you have 40 life, I think for you to win via infect, then it should be 20 infect because you're doing half that life. But that could also open the floodgates to make a lot more infect cards, because then you need to hit everyone else for 20, and that actually makes infect into a mechanic that is very, the word is, it scales 1-to-1 on commander, because in commander infect is stronger than in standard by a lot, because that means instead of having to do 120 life because it's 40 on 3 players, then you have 120, then you only have to do 30. Okay, so 120 versus 30, that's actually going to be, it's only 50%, no, 25% of the work done, versus in standard, modern, or any other game where you have 20 life, having to do 20 infect to just one person is 50% the efficacy. Okay, so you're doing 300% versus 200%, or 400% versus 200%, and that's a lot of damage. Honestly, that's a lot. So infect is really strong in Magic, and a lot of people, they propose, like up the life, things like that. It's not a good or a bad thing, but I think a cool rules change would be that it takes half the amount of the life. That's what it was originally intended for, and therefore that could completely make or break a mechanic, and therefore the game. Now, I know that a lot of people like infect, and then this is gonna be like, hey, you killed infect because now it's utter trash, right? Yes, I understand that it's going to hurt infect, but it can also open the gates to make new infect cards, because infect hasn't been supported in a long time, and it's been supported indirectly through, I think it was, all the proliferate cards that came out in War of the Spark, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like Super Friends kind of support. But then Infect kind of gets advantage of that, okay? So that kind of situation, giving Infect to stuff, I think it would be really cool. And so it's like, 10 wins you the game. No, it doesn't have to be that. It could be half wins you the game. That gives it that 50% less work in the point of view of the player, while also it's not super oppressive when you just go and proliferate, and then suddenly like everyone's dead because you just had to do a little bit of infect to everyone and then proliferate like 4 times. It's really easy to proliferate compared to doing 20 damage to each player, but then you can have a lot more infect cards. I think that'd be really cool. It lends itself to a lot of design. And hey, maybe this Game Changes episode is to wreck a mechanic. It doesn't have to be to better it necessarily. But yeah, this was definitely going to be a wrecking ball for a lot of people's decks. But hey, that's my opinion. That's the rule change that I would do in this Game Changes episode. Let me know what you think about it, though. Let me know about that in the comments, as well as like, share, subscribe, and follow for more. Okay, I will see you on the next episode. Peace out.